2014. Officially graduating from Oakwood University with my undergraduate degree in religious education. It has been a long journey, one that I am very appreciative of, and most importantly, the people that have allowed this moment to happen. And this video is just to thank those that have helped me out and that have been a crutch, guided me, counseled me to get to this moment, and most importantly, just to glorify God, because without Him, without Christ, none of this would have been possible. So before I start, I just want to start off with this illustration from, or I don't want to say illustration, but a biblical account. And the biblical account that comes to my mind when I'm thinking of my testimony, as I'm thinking of this moment, as I walk across that stage to receive my degree, I think of the story of Moses, and how Moses, when he was born, he was put into a basket and put into the river, and he became the son of an Egyptian woman. And Moses, as a baby, was helpless. He was clueless. He didn't know what was taking place. And it reminds me of the story of Jesus as well, because Jesus, as a baby, he was born in a manger. There were so many different events that took place where his life was threatened as a child, as a baby, from the ages of birth to 2 years old, where Joseph and Mary had to flee to Egypt. And I feel like I can relate to those two men a lot, because my story in the beginning of my life is very similar to that. Just thinking of my life and how I was brought into the world, there are so many situations, a lot of things that were taking place while I was in my mother's womb that I had no clue of what was going on, what was taking place. Even birth and just being brought into the world, I didn't know what was taking place. And though my mother did not raise me, I would like to give her thanks first and foremost. Why? Because she did not take the cowardly way out. She did not choose to get an abortion. She did not choose to give me a way to foster care or adoption, but she chose to keep me for a while. And because she was at her young age, she had to give me, or was wise enough to give me, to my grandparents. And so, Lala, I would like to thank you, because it was your decision to keep me as a baby, which what got me here, because you gave me life. And speaking of my grandparents, as I recently found out that I was in New York, born in Chicago, went to New York, came back to Chicago to live with my grandparents, so many things going on at a very young age, clueless of what was going on, what was taking place. I think my grandparents, my grandmother, Cecil, right now, I know that you are in a nursing home and you're fighting for your life. And I could just remember all those long, hot days, catching the bus, walking to different places, you picking me up from elementary school every single day to make sure that I was safe. At the time, I didn't like it. I felt as if I could walk home by myself. But now that I'm older, I can see now that you really loved me. You really looked to protect me. And for my grandfather, Papi, Elman, I knew you in my life until I was 5, until you passed away. But I remember I have very key moments and key memories of you when you, or I should say him, because he can't hear me right now, but I have very key memories of him when the car broke down, taking me to preschool. He was pushing the car, taking me to White Castle, buying food and buying me different toys and doing different things with me. And those things stuck out to my mind. And I really believe it was because you are the only father, real father, that I've ever had and ever known. And I'm thankful for those short years that I had with you. And so I think of when you passed away, it was a very traumatizing thing in our family. But I know that God had a purpose and he had a reason for it. And I believe that I was a part of that reason. Because if you did not pass away, we probably would have still lived in Chicago. I don't know what would have taken place if I stayed in Chicago and grew up in Chicago. But I know by your death, by the death of my grandfather, when he passed away, this is when my grandmother and my aunt decided to move to Miami. I don't know why they chose Miami, but they chose Miami. In the process of moving to Miami, there was a lot of changes going on. And one thing that really broke my heart when we had to leave Chicago was I had to leave my godparents, Nen and An and Atu. You guys played a pivotal role in my upbringing. The care and the love that you guys gave me as if you were my biological parents. I really thank you for that love. And I just sometimes I just sit back and I think of how you guys took care of me. I see how you would cut my hair every other week. I had a haircut. And then after my grandmother, after ceasing, you were the greatest caretaker, and I love you for that, and I'm appreciative for it, and I'm just thankful that you're able to see this day. You're able to see that I have achieved, I have made it, and I am now a graduate. And from that time, we move on to Miami. And I believe, and I honestly, truly believe that the biggest and the best thing that ever happened to me going to Miami was being placed, God divinely orchestrating it for us to be members at Hebron SDA Church. That church right there means the world to me. You guys that I was raised with, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the camaraderie that we had there, it was like none other. And all of the things that took place at the church, whether it was good or it was bad, it has played a major role in me being the man that I am today. And I just like to specifically thank certain families at Hebron. The DeSources family, the Henry family, the Lubins, the Josephs, the Perpinians, the Georges family. Semina, you were like a mother to me. Though you had 6 children, you treated me as if I was the 7th. You scolded me like I was one of your children, and you loved me as if I was one of your children. Ma, DeSources, Pop, same thing for you guys. Sally picking me up for school, dropping me off to school every single day with Edson, just so I wouldn't have to walk to school. That stays in my mind to this day. Going over you guys' home and eating as if I'm part of the family. These things, they have stuck with me. And Edson, you were my best friend growing up as a kid. And I really do appreciate the relationship that we had. And now that you're a father, I pray that our relationship can continue to grow and we can just continue to look out for each other like we always did. And I remember you said one thing that till this day, I don't remember when you said it, but I remember you saying it. You said that, of course, seeing that I was raised an only child, you said that, Jono, he's a Henry. He's one of us. And that did so much to me as a person. It did a lot for my character. And the way you said it, people can say things like that, but when you said it, I felt that you really meant it. and I know you did. And I'm thankful for the relationship that we had. Mark, Joey, Jeffrey, Migueli, Sean Woodney, Jr., P. Benz, Nicholas, Norman, John, man, you know, Dungeon Fam. Man, you guys are one of a kind. And just the opportunity to be able to be raised with you guys, and to be around you guys all the time, and you know, play football, play basketball, different pranks together, just doing different crazy things. Man, it was good. You guys really made my childhood, and I love you guys for that. And I will always be indebted to you guys for what took place with me, with you guys when growing up at Hebron. Thinking about the different people that influenced me at Hebron. Brad, Pastor Marlon, Sony, Odell, Matt. I will forever look up to you guys because the leadership that you guys displayed, the compassion that you guys displayed on the youth department, not only the youth department, but for me personally, every single last one of you guys impacted my life in such a way that it's enormous. And at times I get emotional just thinking of it, because you guys were the older brothers that I needed for me to be at this point, at this time. And you guys played an instrumental role in my development as a man. Just thinking about different conversations that I will have with you guys. And if you guys didn't say much, I'm just thinking of the example, your leadership by example. And I thank you guys for that. And I pray that God continues to be with you all as you guys have families now, as you guys are married. I pray that the Lord can be, He can continually be the centerpiece and the focus of your home, and that you guys can be the fathers that this world needs in these perilous times, so that the world can see that there are still fathers that take care of their children, that the world can see that that these fathers just don't take care of their children, but they uphold the standard of Christ. A couple other people that come to my mind. Well, one specific ministry, I actually say, with those other people, the ministry of Umoja. Though I didn't join Umoja, but I was always around Umoja, and specifically being around Shayla and Badowski. Man, you guys experienced me in my transition phase, when I was coming from a worldly life, doing things on my own, doing things in the flesh, just living however I want to live, being very disrespectful to other people, to seeing how I can become a Christian. And being around you guys, seeing your passion and the love for the ministry that you guys have, the ministry of music that God has given you guys, it has allowed me to have a passion for ministry in general. And the way that you guys are still on that path, doing the ministry, accepting and staying with the call that God has on your life it's remarkable to me. And I really appreciate you guys because, like I said, you guys had to go, experience me through my transition phase. And I love you guys for that. And I pray that God continues to bless you guys and your families, and that you guys can continue to grow in Christ, blossom in the Lord, so that whatever the enemy tries to throw at your way, that hedge of protection of Christ can be around you guys, that you guys can continue to move forward. And also thinking about the Pure Reality Ministry. Pure Reality Ministries is such a bold, powerful, spirit-filled, transparent ministry that has basically added to my character as far as being transparent. And all the issues that were spoken about in this ministry, and the personal relationships that were developed in this ministry with me and other people, have played a great role in me being the man that I am today and reaching this point and this milestone in my life. Specifically thinking about Sister D, Sister Dominique, like another mother to me. You were there for me when I cried aloud and I needed help. When I was at my lowest state emotionally, confused, broken, hurt, you were there. You were there unbiasedly. You were there as a mother, as a friend. And I long for the day where you can watch my kids too, like you watch other people's kids, because you're just a great person. And I love you with all of my heart. And I appreciate the love that you have extended to me as being my mother and me being your son. Coming to Oakwood, I always tell people, I think God brought me here to Oakwood for 2 reasons. For Dr. Allen's classes, New Testament 1, Intro to Christian Ministry, SDA Theology, those courses have done something to my mind that has just allowed me to see God in such a greater light. It's phenomenal to understand and know that God loves me and that we're in a loving relationship, and that's all he wants from me. And number 2, the ministry of NAPS. Just all the things that were done in NAPS, all the friendships that I gained, all the people that I know, all the places that I was able to go, to know that I never thought I would ever leave 701 Northeast 152nd Street in North Miami. Never thought I would see past that block, to know that when I accepted Christ, he put me in a place and in a position to where I can go to different places across the world, across the United States, to experience God's love and to share it with other people in such a remarkable way. And just thinking about the ministry of NAPS, but specifically thinking of the influential forces in the ministry. One of them, Randrick Chance. Man, your discipline, your follow through, your focus, your steadiness, your togetherness, it was like none other. But in NAPS, I think of specific people that I would like to thank. One of them being Randrick Chance. When I came in, they called you the lieutenant. I didn't really understand why or know why, but seeing your work ethic, your follow through, your readiness, your togetherness, man, those speeches that you would give on the mission, they were just out of this world. And just to see how driven you are for the Lord and the passion that you had for Christ, it was like none other. But the thing that stands out to me the most about you is my junior year or sophomore year, I don't remember which one, you pulled me aside and we had personal conversations. And the things that you shared with me, the advice and the counsel that you gave me, till this day they stick with me, and they will always stick with me. And I appreciate and I love you for that, because you didn't have to. You could have just kept it business, just going on missions, doing the ministry, so on and so forth. But you opened up your heart, you opened up your life, you opened up your home and your personal business to me so that I can grow as a young man. And I thank you for that. Another person is Brian Irby. To me, my personal opinion, people have other opinions, but to me, I believe that you were the best leader to ever pass through the ministry in my time, because you represented Christ in so many different ways. You weren't the forceful, strong, domineering, overbearing leader like most are. You were gentle in your ways. And so many times people think a person must have a certain characteristic or they must have a certain personality to be a great leader and to gain respect. But in your quiet ways, in your guiding ways, always pointing to Jesus in the scriptures, so many of us, including myself, had a lot of love and respect for you, because we saw that it was not just about the missions, but it was also loving Christ and fellowship with one another. Also, Gene Lubin. Jean man, knowing you since I was about 11 or 12, I just thought you just talked so much and you talked a lot of crap. Always talking about Kobe and the Dallas Cowboys and just going on and on and on. You talked a lot of junk. Hate everything that you did. And just to see the transformation that's taking place with you, coming to Oakwood and seeing you as a leader in the ministry, it was something that stuck out to me a lot. And even to this day, man, you're one of my closest friends. We talk about everything and anything under the sun, and we just keep it real with one another. We're upfront, we're honest, and I appreciate that relationship, because just to know that I have another fellow brother that I can go to, and if I need to cry, I can cry. If I need to shout, I can shout. If I need to just blow off some steam, I can blow off some steam in your presence, and we can keep it in the umbrella, under the umbrella of Jesus. And I just pray blessings upon you and your family. Same thing for Brian, for Chance, as you guys have your wives, Chance, first child, Jean, child on the way, Brian and Carolyn. I just pray an insurmountable of blessings on your families. And I know that you guys will definitely bless the world, and that the character of Christ will definitely be illuminated by the world, seeing your family structure and how you guys operate together and how you guys lay down your life for your wives as Christ did for the church. And you know, I cannot forget my YD6 family. The laughs, the cries, the missions. I'm just thinking about different things in my mind right now. This is why I laugh. But man, that year was the best year of my life. The experiences that I experienced with you guys out there in the world was like none other than I've ever experienced. And there's one thing to have people that you grew up with and you play around with. There's one thing to have acquaintances and friends and so on and so forth. But there's another thing when you bond yourself with people that you don't know from anywhere, doing the work of the Lord, and you feel like these are the people that understand you more than anyone else. But the thing that I'm really appreciative for when it comes to you guys is the way that you guys took in Kitia as if she was on Wild D6. You guys showered her with love, and that transition from her moving from Miami to Huntsville, you guys made it so much easier for us and for her. And I thank you guys for that. And you know, even within this thank you, I include Olivia and Kelsey, because in my mind, you guys are Wild D6. Coming to my wedding, helping out, and just being there. I really thank you guys. And I just pray that all the things that you guys will do in your life, that God's hand will be upon you, that the Spirit of God can continue to lead, to move, to mold, and to grow you guys as you guys will go into your different endeavors. And Jerry, man, you're my brother, my friend, my road dog, you know, my partner. A lot of jokes, a lot of laughs, and it was a blessing when you, and it was an honor when you allowed me to be the godfather of your first child. That meant a lot to me, and it showed me that you really appreciate it, and you love the relationship that we had, and you felt as if I can be a person to be in that place to influence your children. And I love you, man, and I appreciate all the love and support that you give me. And I just pray that you can anchor your family in Christ, teach your kids the principles of the kingdom, so that they can continue on the love of God in this life, in this world that we live in. And last and definitely never least, I would like to give thanks to my wife, Kitia Gustav. You, just to see all of that you had to go through to follow your heart and to be with me, it speaks volumes. You went against the grain. You didn't just trust your heart, but you trust and you believed in God. And this is how we are together today. You are my strength. When I see you, I have no choice. I have no choice but to continue to move forward when things get tough. I have no choice but to continue to strive for the best that I can do, because you deserve the best. And though I was doing the papers, though I was doing the assignments, you play a great role in me getting those things done. And I'm overjoyed because I have a woman like you by my side. You know, there are a lot of times when I hear other people complain about their spouses or they complain about their relationships, and I think to myself, I'm like, wow, I do not have any of those problems. And sometimes I think, I guess the Spirit brings it to my mind. He says, who can find a virtuous woman? And then I respond and said, I did. And being virtuous, how you holding down the fort at the house, as you work, and as I went to school, and just to see the transition, the struggle that you had emotionally coming here and leaving your entire family, all that you ever knew, just to be with me. It reminds me of Abraham and how God told him to just leave his family, leave his home, and go into a country that you do not know of, but trust me, I will bless you. And by the decision that you made to marry me, to come out here to Huntsville, to Oakwood, you really showed me that you were willing to do anything, not just to be with me, but to live for God and to be obedient to Him. And I can't wait till the day that we're able to have kids with one another, to have a family, to instill Christ in our children in our home. And the ministry that we're starting up together, the family ministry, I know there is a lot more. There are a lot more successes. There are a lot more milestones that we will accomplish together. And I'm just grateful, and I'm thankful that you are my wife, you are my partner, you are my best friend, and you are the person that I can live the rest of my life with. I know God has many blessings in store for you, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to realize those blessings with you. And I pray that I can be the husband that you need. I can be the father for your children that you need in these perilous times that we're living in. I pray that I can always be an encouragement and a loving, self-sacrificing husband to you. Though I know at times I can get out of hand, I can trip sometimes, but you never hold it against me, and you always see the good in me. All in all, I say I love you to all of you guys. I say thank you to every single last person that has played a major role in me being where I am today. I pray blessings upon you guys, and I just give you guys a charge. Some of you may not be where you want to be in your life right now, but like my grandmother would say, "Qu'est-ce bon Dieu?" Hold on to God's feet, and I'm telling you, He will bring you places that you never thought you can go. I love you all, and I give God all the praise, honor, and glory, because without Him, none of this would be possible. Because Christ took the step to leave the bosom, the comfort, the bosom of the Father, to sacrifice His life so that me personally, I can have rights to the tree of life once more, that I can be a renewed creature, that I can be a new person, that I can just be changed and bask in the love of God. Christ did all of that for me. He has done it for all of us. And without God, without His Son, our Christ, none of this would be possible. And so I thank you all, and I give thanks all to God. I love you all, and thank you.